I never saw it coming. That dinner at Rosie's Diner in the heart of Albuquerque, New Mexico, where the red chili enchiladas are legendary and the sunsets paint the Sandia Mountains like a canvas on fire.
I'm Emily Carter.
35. And I'd clawed my way up from a tiny apartment in Phoenix to running a thriving solar energy startup in the Southwest. That night, the neon sign buzzed outside as my folks and brother strolled in. All smiles and secrets.
Dad.
Jack Carter had that old cowboy charm, the kind that could sell sand in the desert, though he'd bounced between odd jobs his whole life. Mom, Sarah, kissed my cheek with her usual mix of warmth and appraisal, eyeing my leather jacket like it was a trophy. My brother, Mike, slumped into the booth, fiddling with his phone, probably chasing the next big crypto wave that would change everything. We ordered the usual, green chili cheeseburgers for them, a salad for me to keep my head clear. The place was alive with locals chatting about the latest rodeo, but our table felt staged, like they'd rehearsed their lines. Mom twirled her iced tea straw, exchanging glances with Dad. "Honey," she started, her voice sweet as prickly pear jelly, "your dad and I have been chewing the fat about the future. Retirement ain't what it cracked up to be out here in the West." Dad nodded, adjusting his BOLO tie. "Social Security's drier than the Rio Grande in July. And our savings? The market bucked us off hard." I sipped my coffee, sensing the pitch. There was always one with them, Mike between gigs again. As Mom put it, patting his arm like he was still a kid. "The ranch is eating us alive," Dad added. "Property taxes, upkeep, water rights in this drought, it's a real kicker." Then it hit. Mom leaned in, her eyes sparkling like she'd drawn a winning lottery ticket. "Your dad and I are moving in with you next month. Won't that be grand? Back under one roof, like the good old days. Not a question. Not a maybe, just a done deal." As if my 3-bedroom adobe house on the outskirts of Albuquerque, the one I'd bootstrapped through endless nights coding algorithms for renewable tech, was their emergency exit. "And Mike can crash in the garage apartment," Dad tossed in, casual as ordering extra fries. "He needs solid ground to get back on his horse." My fingers gripped the mug tighter. That garage? I'd turn it into my command center, where I pitched to investors and crunched data on solar grids. "We've already boxed up the basics," Mom beamed. "Figured early next month works. Gives you time to spruce things up." Spruce up? Like 2 weeks was plenty to rewrite my life. I scanned their faces. Dad's easy grin, Mom's forced cheer, Mike's entitled nod, like I'd roll over as always. "Family sticks together." Mom said, reaching for my hand. "Blood's thicker than water." Funny how that water always flowed one way, toward them. I took a breath, reached into my bag, and slid the envelope across the table, right next to the salsa bowl. The diner's hum faded as I did. 3 days earlier, I'd sat in my lawyer's office, signing docs that felt like loading a 6-shooter. "You sure about this?" she'd asked. Damn right I was. "That's some news," I said evenly, pushing the envelope closer. Dad's smile flickered. Mom's hand paused. Even Mike glanced up. "What's this?" Dad asked, his drawl thinning. "Open it." Growing up on our dusty ranch outside Tucson, Arizona, I learned fast that love in the Carter clan came with strings attached, ones I could never quite untangle. While Mike got a dirt bike for his 12th birthday, I got a used toolbox and a build-your-own-fun pep talk. At 16, I started slinging burgers at a truck stop off I-10, saving for a beat-up laptop to learn coding. Meanwhile, Mike totaled his second truck at 20. Dad just signed for a third, chuckling. "Boys gotta roam free." The math was always skewed. My wins got a nod. His flops got a bailout. When I aced high school and snagged a partial scholarship to UNM in Albuquerque, we celebrated at a drive-thru. But Mike's barely passing community college stint, a backyard barbecue, and a down payment on a camper van he needed for inspiration. Emily's always been a lone ranger, Mom bragged to neighbors. Like my grit was a quirk, not necessity. Asking for help meant hearing why Mike deserved it more. His dreams were ventures, mine side hustles. I remember my old Chevy breaking down on the highway during college, stranding me in the blazing sun. Called Dad from a payphone. Can't swing it. Kiddo, Mike's got that job fair tomorrow. Promised him gas money. I thumbed a ride with a trucker named Rita, who shared her jerky and wisdom. Don't bet on folks who won't bet on you. That week, Mike's job fair was another pyramid scheme. The gas money vanished like rain in the desert. No one mentioned it at Easter. I juggled waitressing, tech support gigs, and online freelancing through school. Mike flipped majors like pancakes, business, graphic design, real estate, each with fees my parents covered. No questions. Your brother's finding his path, Mom explained when I begged for textbook help one semester. You've always known yours. What I knew was I mattered less. But knowing and accepting ain't the same. The Christmas I graduated magna cum laude with job offers from green energy firms. Mike got a $8,000 check for his app startup. It fizzled in Vegas. Market research, he called it. I launched Carter Renewables with $4,000 scraped from graveyard shifts at a data farm. No frills, just me in a rented storage unit. Wiring prototypes. First big break, a contract for solar installs in Navajo Nation. By 30, I had 10 employees and deals across the Southwest. By 35, the house, a cozy adobe with mountain views I'd renovated myself.
No handouts. No rescues.
They'd poured into Mike's potential, watching it evaporate.
Now.
With their well dry, they eyed my oasis. But I'd built walls high as the mesas, and no emotional sandstorm would breach them. The house on Canyon Road was my haven, a 1940s adobe I'd snatched during a market dip. Previous owners, snowbirds heading east, left it weathered but full of promise. I gutted it weekends at a time, learning stucco repair from online vids and neighbors' tips. Kitchen first, salvage tiles, energy-efficient appliances I installed after frying a circuit or two. The bathrooms got low-flow fixtures, fitting for my line of work. The garage apartment? Transformed into a solar-powered office with panels I rigged myself, where I modeled wind patterns and sealed multi-million-dollar grants. My neighbor, old Mr. Valdez, watched from his porch swing. Doing it all solo. Mija, he'd holler. Mostly, I'd yell back. Hauling debris keeps the cost down. Truth was, by year 2, I could afford pros. Didn't want 'em. Each nail hammered was reclaiming ground they'd never given. The courtyard garden bloomed with drought-resistant succulents and chiles I tended like kids. Inside, rooms echoed my sweat, reclaimed wood floors in the living room, a Kiva fireplace I restored. My bedroom, sage green walls shifting with the light, furnished with thrift finds I'd refinished. The office gleamed with triple monitors and a drafting table for blueprints. The place wasn't just bricks and mortar, it was proof. Proof I could thrive in this vast western landscape without their shadow. Evenings, I'd sip herbal tea on the patio, watching stars punch through the sky, grateful for the quiet. No family echoes, just coyote howls and my own rhythm. The value had doubled with Albuquerque's green boom, but its worth to me? Priceless. 8 years of solo holidays, self-made feasts, Projects born of pure will. They'd never chipped in for the solar roof during lean times. Never visited longer than a coffee.
But now?
Family reunion as invasion. My fortress stood ready. And I'd defend it like the Alamo, smart. Not savage. The hints started subtle. Like monsoon clouds gathering. 3 months back. At Dad's birthday barbecue. He mused about family compounds being the new Western way. Stronger together against the elements. Mom chimed in. Your place feels so empty. All that space echoing. I like the echo, I'd said. But she was already touting a job lead for Mike. Qualifications be damned. 2 weeks later, Dad rolled up unannounced in his rusty Ford, peering at my solar setup while I wrapped a video call with a client from California. That garage could have its own entrance, he noted.
Squinting.
Handy for options. Options? I filed it away. Mom's drop-ins ramped up. Casseroles made too much, always portioned for 4. With side comments on solo grocery runs being such a waste. She'd poke around, admiring my energy-efficient closets, eyes measuring like a land surveyor. This spare room catches the morning sun perfect, she said one afternoon, tracing the window. Ideal for someone who likes their coffee with a paper. Dad's ritual.
Clear as day.
Then Mike's scout mission. AC shot at my place. Mind if I crash and work here? Reluctantly, I agreed. Found him later in my office chair, testing the ergonomics. This rig's prime. You could run a whole outfit from here. Maybe partner up. Good thing I'm solo. I shot back. But he snapped pics anyway. The money probes followed. Mom grilled me on mortgage rates.
Huafe.
Utility rebates. Just curious about the green market, though she'd never cared. Their portfolio? Drained from Mike's endless investments. I noted it all. They pushed a family powwow last month, arriving with a binder, red flag waving. Inside, articles on multi-generational homes. The smart Western family trend. Dad's notes. Tax breaks. Shared costs. Legacy building. Each email forward from him hammered it home. The pressure built like a hubbub dust storm. I saw the endgame. My success as their salvage. But I'd learned from desert survival. Prepare early. Strike smart. That's when I lawyered up.
Met Angela Ruiz.
A sharp Albuquerque attorney specializing in family disputes and fraud. Laid it all out. The uninvited visits. The probing. The whispers of our business. Sounds like they're gearing for adverse possession or worse, she said, frowning. In New Mexico, squatting laws are strict. But family complicates it. We dug deeper. Turns out, they'd been name-dropping my company to lenders. Claiming stakes. Dad had pitched our solar venture to his poker buddies for seed money. Mom had snapped pics of my financials during a visit. Mike listed himself as co-founder on a loan app. Angela's eyes widened at the evidence I'd gathered. Security cam footage. Email trails. Witness statements from neighbors. This is fraud. Identity theft under federal law. We can file restraining orders. Cease and desists. But criminal charges? That's heavy. Up to 10 years if it crosses $100,000. I nodded. Humane? Maybe not. But necessary. We built a case. Forensic audit proving my company's growth was 100% mine. Predating their claims by years. No shared assets. No contributions. This protects you legally, Angela said. But emotionally, that's on you. I needed more distance. Contacted a realtor. Lisa Montoya. Expert in quiet sales. Fast and off-market, I told her.
No fas.
She nodded, sensing the stakes. Within days. Buyers, a young couple from Seattle. Eco-conscious. Cash in hand. They toured once. Offered 95% market value. Close in 10 days.
Done.
Hired movers for a weekday. My family was tied up. Dad's fishing trip. Mom's quilting circle. Mike's networking lunch, code for bar hopping. My new spot, a secure condo in downtown Albuquerque. Mountain views. Solar-equipped building. Month to month under my company name. Landlord a client I'd helped with grid tech. Off the books, he winked. The dossier Angela prepped was ironclad. Sale docs. Fraud proofs. Legal threats. But I added a twist, a $4,000 check. My startup seed amount. Not revenge, but a mirror. This is what support looks like. What you never gave. Samantha, my best friend and solar engineer, rehearsed with me. Stay cool. Facts only.
No explosions.
What if they beg? Walk away. You've earned it. I cleared the house Monday night. Standing in the empty courtyard under starlight. No tears, just resolve. This chapter closed, a new one beckoned. Tuesday dawned crisp. Sign the sale at Angela's office. Funds wired to a new account. Business shielded. Credit locked. Arrived at Rosie's early. Envelope ready, like a concealed carry. They sauntered in. Oblivious. War over before it began. The envelope landed like a thunderclap. Mom tore it open, face paling under the diner's fluorescent glow.
You.
Sold the house. Her voice cracked like dry earth. Closed this morning. New folks move in Friday. Dad grabbed the papers. Scanning wildly. This can't be, you're joking.
No lo puedo. No merci.
Mike. Wait. Our plan. Your plan. I corrected. Mom hit the fraud section next.
Gasping.
Emily. These lies. Evidence. I cut in.
Forget apps.
Unauthorized entries. All documented. Legal. Dad flushed. We're family. We were helping. Helping? My laugh echoed. Like claiming my solar patents as ours to your lenders? We supported you. Mom pleaded. Name it one wire. One referral. One all-night. Silence. Thick as adobe mud. Mike tried. Sis. Blood means nothing when you fake resumes with my title. Rosie herself hovered. Sensing storm. All good. Fine. I said. Eyes locked on Dad. Page 8. Audit shows zero involvement till your schemes. Ungrateful. Mom hissed. I leaned in. I bootstrapped while you bankrolled Mike's wrecks. His flops. His ventures. He needed it. She whispered. And I didn't, because Emily's tough. Right? Self-made. Slid the check over. $4,000, my startup grit. Parting shot. Dad's eyes blazed. You think this ends it? It does. One more fraud. And feds knock. Angela's primed. Mom's tears fell. Angry rivers. After all you did zilch. That's your return. Stood. Bag in hand. My new life's mine unfindable. Unclaimable. Pushed out into the warm New Mexico night. Streets alive with lowriders and laughter. Blocked their numbers mid-stride. Each tap severing chains. Samantha waited at my condo with green chili stew and beer. How'd it land? They know. House gone. Fraud exposed. Ties cut. We clinked bottles. To the overlooked kid who claimed her horizon. The fallout hit like a flash flood. Emails poured in, guilt-laced pleas from Mom. Forwarded to Angela for the harassment log. Dad tried my old office. Security bounced him. Mom pinged clients. They stonewalled. Briefed. Mike's sob stories via friends? Ignored. My condo doorman, ex-rancher type, stood guard like a sentinel. Business boomed sans drama. Landed a big Navajo wind farm deal. Hired 3 techs. Team noticed. You seem unburdened, my lead said. Dropped a boulder, I replied. Started therapy with Dr. Lopez. Unpacking the favoritism scars. You didn't fail them, she said. They failed equity. Boundaries aren't betrayal, they're survival. Legal bluster from their side fizzled after Angela's countervolley. Silence settled, vast as the Chihuahuan Desert. 6 months in, Albuquerque's monsoon season brought renewal, rains greening the arroyos, mirroring my fresh start. Carter Renewables rebranded to Southwest Solar Innovations, shedding old weight. Expanded to battery storage tech. Office in a LEED-certified building downtown. Therapy dug deep. The ranch Christmases where Mike's hauls dwarfed my hand-me-downs. The times I'd hitchhiked home from gigs while they fueled his whims. Selective love warps, Dr. Lopez noted. You rebuilt straight. Saw Mike once, bussing tables at a cantina near Old Town. Our eyes locked. He looked weathered, like the desert had finally demanded toll.
No nod.
No words. Just a ghost from a past life. A year ticked by. Bought a condo outright, modern, with rooftop solar and views of the Rio Grande. Celebrated with my team over margaritas. Toasts to chosen family. Angela called one day. Your folks' ranch is foreclosing. Heads up. Expected outreach. None came. Story could have ended in that quiet victory. But the West teaches redemption amid ruggedness. It was a scorching July afternoon, 15 months post-diner, when I spotted Mom at the farmer's market in the plaza. She haggled over wilted veggies, her once stylish purse frayed. She saw me, hesitated, approached slow. We stood amid chili roasters and turquoise vendors. Air thick with roasting corn. Could have bolted. Instead, Mom. Her eyes welled. Not rage, but regret. Emily. We messed up. Bad. Words tumbled. Ranch lost. Dad's odd jobs barely covering motel stays. Mike finally holding a steady gig at a warehouse. We favored him 'cause he was fragile. Thought you were steel. Steel bends too, I said. But I get it, old habits. Pulled out my wallet. Handed $1,000. Not absolution. 4 basics. Get on your feet. She clutched it, whispering thanks. Can we talk sometime? Maybe, I said. But on my terms. Walked away lighter. Not from charity, but choice.
Dr.
Lopez called it growth, compassion without compromise. Samantha, classy move.
Me?
A lesson seeded. Family's not entitlement, but earned respect. Roots can regrow if tended right. Back at the office, I drafted a new proposal for community solar in underserved pueblos. The sun dipped low, casting golden hues. My phone stayed silent, no crises, just potential. The overlooked daughter had scripted her saga, authoring empowerment. In this wide-open West, freedom wasn't isolation, it was space to heal, maybe even bridge chasms with care. But bridges need foundations. Mine stood firm. Lessons etched like petroglyphs, favoritism fractures. But forgiveness, measured, mends. Not for them.
But me.
The market buzz faded as I drove home. Windows down. Desert wind whispering closure. Tomorrow beckoned brighter. Unshadowed. Wait. That wasn't the full pivot.
Truth is.
That market encounter sparked something humane in me, a nudge toward reconciliation, not revenge. Over weeks, I mulled it. Therapy helped unpack. Their bias stemmed from their own scars, Dad's failed dreams, Mom's lost opportunities, projected onto Mike as redemption.
Me?
The mirror they avoided. Sent an olive branch, a letter via Angela. Neutral ground. Not erasing past, but open to coffee. Boundaries firm. Mom replied quick. Grateful. We met at a neutral cafe overlooking the mountains. No Dad or Mike start small. She arrived humble.
Noers.
We were wrong. Emily. Saw your strength as excuse to lean less. Tears flowed. Real ones. Shared stories. Her own overlooked youth. Pushing her to overcorrect with Mike. Broke the cycle wrong way. I listened. Shared my hurts, the ranch isolations, the unequal stakes. Built me resilient. But lonely.
No hugs.
But understanding dawned. Agreed to therapy sessions together. Family counselor in town. Slow steps, monthly meets.
No overnights.
No money talks. Dad joined next. Gruff apologies. Thought tough love toughened you. Missed the love part. Mike last. Owning his entitlement. Took your shadow for granted. Working on me now.
No feritale. Tensions flared.
Sessions raw. But progress. They volunteered at my solar outreach. Learning my world. Mike shadowed our install. Gained respect. Holidays shifted. Equitable. At neutral spots. My condo stayed sacred. Their new apartment. Modest but theirs. The lesson bloomed light. Revenge scorches soil. Redemption waters it. Family's not perfect, but salvageable with effort. In the West's vastness, room exists for second chances if earned. Business thrived parallel. Landing a state grant for rural electrification. Team expanded. Culture of equity I instilled. Ironic gift from my past. One evening, post-session.
Moment de tentative.
Proud of you. Always was. Just blind. Felt it true. Bridges rebuilt. Stronger for the breaks. The transformation wasn't overnight. Like a sudden rain in the arid Badlands, it came in drips, building to a steady flow. Our family sessions with Dr. Elena Vargas delved deep, unearthing generational grit and grievances. Dad admitted his job-hopping stemmed from his father's harsh ranch life, making him overindulge Mike to break the curse. Mom confessed her own sibling rivalry scars, favoring the weak one unconsciously. Mike owned his laziness. Born from cushions. Never learned to saddle my own horse.
Me?
I voiced the ache of invisibility. How it forged armor but left chinks. Boundaries held. No unannounced visits. No financial asks. They respected. Or sessions paused. Progress showed in small wins. Dad helping troubleshoot a solar panel prototype over video. His mechanic know-how shining. Mom sent articles on green tech. Genuine interest blooming. Mike enrolled in trade school for renewables. Inspired by my path. Your grit rubbed off, he said.
No es Mirk.
Holidays evolved. Thanksgiving at a rented cabin in the Gila wilderness. Equal contributions. Gifts thoughtful. Books on desert ecology for me.
Tools for Mike.
Laughter returned. Tentative, but real. My condo remained my oasis. But I hosted a casual barbecue once. Courtyard alive with stories minus drama. Business mirrored the heel. Southwest Solar partnered with tribal communities. Installing off-grid systems. Saw parallels, overlooked groups claiming power. A TEDx talk in Santa Fe shared my journey. Anonymized family bits. Resilience from neglect. Redemption through choice. resonated wide. Emails pouring from similar souls. One session. Breakthrough. Dad teared up. Saw you as the strong one. Forgot strong needs support too. Hugged him first time in years. Not erasure, but evolution. The light lesson crystallized. In the West's unforgiving terrain. Survival's communal. Hold grudges. You wither. Extend grace with guards. You thrive. Family's a cactus, prickly, but sustains if nurtured. Years blurred, but that pivot stuck.
Now,
At 38, company's regional powerhouse. Family, mended mosaic, stronger for cracks. Mom and dad in a senior co-op. Independent. Mike runs his own install crew. Partnered with me occasionally. We gather for sunsets.
toast to growth.
The diner dinner? Distant memory. Catalyst for better. In this expansive land, space for all if we make it. But let's rewind to that market moment. The seed. Handing mom cash wasn't pity, it was planting. She used it for first month's rent on a small place after foreclosure. Dad got a steady gig at a hardware store. Mike, the wake-up spurred his school push. Our first post-letter coffee was tense. Air thick as summer humidity. Why reach out? Mom asked. Because hate's heavier than hope, I said. We talked hours, pasts, pains, possibilities. Agreed to counseling. Neutral arbiter. Sessions stripped layers. My resentment's roots in ranch isolations. Their defenses in denial. Exercises built empathy, role reversals. Letter writings. I penned hurts, they acknowledged. Mike's turn. Sorry for coasting on your shadow. Healing hurt. But honed us. Socially. Shifts. They attended my company's Earth Day event. Mingling proud. Neighbors noted. Your folks seemed changed. Were they? The humane arc peaked at a family hike in the Petroglyph National Monument. Amid ancient carvings, Dad said, like these rocks, weather-worn but enduring. That's us. Laughed true. Lesson light. Forgiveness frees the forgiver. Business boomed ethically, mentorship programs for underserved youth. Echoing my grit. Personal life? Dated a fellow innovator. Slow and steady. Reflecting. The revenge impulse faded to redemption's glow. In western vastness, lone rangers thrive, but posses endure. The story's full circle came subtly, like dawn creeping over the Oregon mountains. 2 years post-diner. We gathered for my birthday, not at Rosie's, but a picnic in white sands, gypsum dunes shimmering under endless sky. No envelopes. No bombs, just shared stories, laughter echoing off the white waves. Dad grilled burgers. Mom packed salads with homegrown chiles from their co-op plot. Mike brought his girlfriend, a teacher he'd met at trade school. To Emily, Dad toasted with soda, who taught his family ain't about taking, but giving back. Gifts were meaningful, a custom solar lantern for Mike. Etched with light your own path. Mom's quilt. Patterns of desert sunrises. Dad's toolkit. For your next build. No extravagance, just equity. We hiked the dunes. Footprints mingling. Remember when we favored Mike? Mom mused quietly. Biggest regret. Water under the bridge. I said. But bridges we rebuilt. Therapy wrapped. Tools internalized. Occasional check-ins kept balance. My life expanded. Company went national. Installing in California wildfire zones. Personal board. Samantha.
Dr.
Lopez. New networks. Family. Integral. Not invasive. The light lesson endured. In life's drama. Revenge is a mirage. True powers in humane pivots. Favoritism's poison, but antidote's understanding. The West's ethos, rugged individualism meets communal fire, mirrored it. One night, stargazing from my rooftop, phone buzzed, mom's text. Photo of their garden yield. Thanks to your tips. Smiled. From overlooked to oracle.
The end?
Open. Like the horizon. But the stand at Rosie's forged it all. Betrayal birthed growth. Drama delivered depth. In this land of second suns, every dusk promises dawn.